origin of the boat lights, that's a fun story. Just the fact that me and Michael have been together since we were in 5th grade playing music all the way before we were Ravish and had other members and everything. Then we found some more people who were just as serious as us, like Michael, Joe, Tommy. Just a great time hanging out with all those people. They're great musicians and good people. I wouldn't have asked for a better time.
In December, Michael approached me and said, "We could take the boat lights on tour." And I said, I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I don't think it's going to happen. Like, we played a couple of live shows. We recorded a 5-track EP in my barn when we were in high school, and that was only really Michael and Brian. I just produced it. I wasn't playing with them at the time.
And just it started with, you know, going on all the websites and finding all the booking agent contacts from every club in every city, every possible city that was along the route that we were thinking about taking. We thought Denver and a whole bunch of other cities before we finally got down to the ones that we were wanting to get. So it was a lot of paperwork, like doing research and finding email addresses and writing it down and the possible routes, and then just, you know, sending a blast to everybody to see if there were any possible bites on letting us play there.
Middle of January, I saw what he'd done. I'm like, all right, I better start saving money.
Just so a lot of practicing too, and by a lot I mean whenever we could meet, we all go to different places and live in different places. So we practice on Friday and Saturday leading up to the tour.
But we were able to come together for the past like 2 months leading up to it and play, you know, twice a week, every week, which is what we really, really needed because, you know, it made us be really tight for the tour whenever we were able to do that.
It's difficult because Joe goes to A&M, Michael goes to UT Arlington, Brian and I live in Rockwall right now, but usually, you know, he's going to Commerce and I've been at West Point, so it's sort of a challenge to get us all together in one place. And this was kind of a blessing and a miracle that we were able to go on a 2-week tour together.
The Denton show that we had was supposed to be our kickoff show. It's supposed to be an awesome house party.
People start showing up, and there are 200 people in this tiny house, and I don't even bother tuning my guitars or unpacking because the police are going to show up. So I go and decide to start being irresponsible and just start partying.
And then one band played, and it was really cool. You know, it was a little cool back porch, you know, patio outdoors thing. It was like one of the first nice nights of the year, and they played, and you know, everything was going off cool. And then the cops showed up, and then they just told us to be quiet. And so we're like, well, shit, what are we gonna do?
So last night we had 2 sets of plans fall through. The first one we were gonna do is we were gonna go to a house party, and there were 3 bands that were gonna play, and we were gonna headline or play last or whatever. The first band got on, and soon after the police showed up and said there was too much noise, and they gave the owner Dylan a ticket. After that, Brian, he's well networked in his fraternity with his brothers. He calls the Kappa Alpha house, and we go there and we make an announcement. I make the mistake before I leave of making an announcement at the other party that everyone should come to the KA house. So when we get there, people are rolling up, and it's shortly after us, there's another 50 people, and a keg shows up. We didn't know they were on social probation. So to make a long story short, despite numerous people doing favors, and the man had to shut us down. You know, the IFC president, the KA house, and the police at the house show. That's the way it went.
It kind of hurt my my morale at the very beginning, but we had a fun evening. Went to the bar and hung out, and then the rest of the tour went pretty smoothly. But it was just kind of it kind of sucked having it start that way.
Okay, so after the fiasco at Kappa Alpha, the band, Brent Coble, Eric Dyer, and Brett Watkins all go to Fry Street. There's 20 minutes left till last call, so we order 2 pitchers and 11 mixed drinks. And the woman asks us, "Have you ever drank before?" Like, yeah, shut up. We finish that and start walking back to our car, and we find this hippie van where there's a man inside that makes combinations of herbs, rose hips, melatonin, or some bullshit like that. He's very proud of what he does and has different numbers of blends according to different supposed effects of all this wonderfully grown placebo, and Brent ends up buying a bunch of this fake pot from this hippie in a van. We go back to his house and smoke 3 or 4 cigarettes and a couple of joints of that, and after deciding that it just wasn't going to work and we weren't going to be able to buy any more alcohol, we just went to sleep.
That night we kind of split up actually. Joe and I stayed with Brent Coble, good time there, he threw a little party. Brian and Michael stayed with our good friend Brett Watkins.
Brett is the former bassist for Ravish or the Boat Lights, and he moves just like I did.
And we actually took a football from him. We played football in every state, and I don't know if we're going to get it back to him, but we had a good time throwing that around.